Welcome to AI Watch. I have today Hannah with me. We're going to talk about AI risks, specifically on LLMs, but we're not going to stop at risks. We're also going to talk about opportunities and everything around that to get Hannah's views and opinions about this exciting area and its development.
Thank you for the invitation. It's amazing to be here at 2021.ai. I'm Hannah. I work in Pleo. I lead our fraud and transaction surveillance teams. A bit of my background. So I'm German, somehow landed here in Copenhagen and been working for Danske Bank before, similar position also. Everything customer risk rating, modeling, a lot of modeling, risk data and algorithms is exactly what I'm excited about, what I'm passionate about. Now I'm for over 2.5 years already in Pleo, and we're in an exciting journey as well. I mean, as all the fintechs, we're looking where can we use AI, where should we not use it, what really is it, how do we make it kind of consumable for our own users, but also for our employees. So it's a really exciting time, I think, to be in this space.
Thank you for introducing yourself. I would like to get right down to it. Are you scared of LLMs?
I would say it depends how you ask this question. So I would say to some extent, yes, if you were to ask my child me, because as a kid, I was really afraid of mathematics. And if you break down what AI really is, or like the techniques, the modeling behind it, it's algebra in an advanced version, right? So as a kid, I would have said like, what, mathematics? Oh, yes. I am not afraid at all nowadays, because I think it's a huge opportunity for us to use AI to solve some of the really big and pressing problems we have in the 21st century, if we use it in the correct way.
And the correct way, let's take it on the negative side. What would be an incorrect way to use it?
For me, in my view, an incorrect way to use it is that you just implement it without any decision criteria, any success criteria, basically without any governance or any framework. Because then you're using something that you're not understanding, assuming that it's just widely used, not only by experts, and you're not aware of the impact it might have. Yeah. You're not aware of what decisions humans might take based on the output of any algorithm that you use. It can be LLMs, can also be different ones. So I think that can go pretty wrong. We talk about, should we put this person in prison, yes or no? At the moment, it's still a judge that sits there and makes a decision. In the future, who knows?
There's always this discussion about human in the loop when we're talking about AI. Everybody is convinced that human in the loop would help mitigating some of the risks with the use of AI, especially decision making or decision support systems that go, let's say, a little bit out of control. We are today at the era of, let's say, 100 IQ LLM. What happens when we reach the 180 IQ LLM? What would be the human in the loop then? There are not that many humans with Einstein IQ.
I think as soon as we design systems that are outsmarting us, and this is not my ego talking, I don't have any problem if anything is smarter than me, but I think to control something that is smarter than you becomes just logically very difficult. So yes, that would make me, I think, a little bit apprehensive, I would say.
So is the solution to not even go there?
I think that is not a solution, or it's not a very likely outcome. If we look into probabilities of innovations that are definitely there, that are really possible to not be implemented, very low.
My concern is the 180 IQ
Why?
LLM.
What's your biggest concern with that?
It's not the existence of such a machine. Or such an entity, let's call it. my concern is with that landing in the hands of the wrong people and used for the wrong purposes. I think most people would show the responsibilities. So most people would, in the European case, and also in the American case, at least in the moment, and also several other jurisdictions, would obey the law. However, there's always those rogue and bad agents that would not conform. And those actually scare me. And I'm thinking, how do we control that? How do we make sure that the best technology lands at the hands of the responsible people? It's impossible to prevent. You cannot prevent that. You cannot prevent this technology from landing in the right. But you can mitigate and understand what happens if it does.
I think like on that front, definitely that's also something that really scares me. How to prevent that is going to be very, very difficult, because in the end, at the moment, as long as you can establish your own API and maybe pay the subscription fee for OpenAI models, then you're free to use it, right? There's no other check in terms of you as a person using this technology, or you as a corporate using this technology. That's already like an interesting question. Should it be allowed for everyone to be able to use this?
I think it also becomes very, very interesting when we start talking about, because everybody talks about, when you tell people LLM, they think, they have their own favorite LLM in mind. Most people will probably have ChatGPT in one way or the other as an API or a 3.5 or 4 or Turbo or whatever, one of those. There are plenty more. We all know that. And I see a world where there is a few that will be using a few of them. How many do you think will land on? So do you agree? And if you do, how many do you think will land on? And what would be those use cases? Where do we meet them?
Definitely, it's becoming an arms race, right? We see it like with OpenAI, and I mean, it's so interesting to kind of observe. Then Sam Altman already got like in between hired by Microsoft. They have their own model as well, and of course Apple has their own model as well. So I think there's definitely an arms race going on. Who will win that? I mean, no one can say. That's I think almost impossible to predict. But I think I see another effect rather than only just the wrong people getting their hands on AI, is that it creates a larger gap in between socioeconomic classes, because you have a lot of people, they hear maybe about AI, but there's enough resources to learn about it, definitely, but the way of transmitting the education around what really is it, how can you use it, not only on like, most people now, as you say, they use ChatGPT to like, please answer a message to my girlfriend or boyfriend on ABZ, or I have a question on this work-related issue with my boss. Then you will get an output, but actually how to use this output for your own decision-making. There is very little education. I think, in general, humans are not the best always at making informed decisions, right? Like, I think we need way better tools and systems to enable us as humans to make decisions. This goes also back to this question, like, how do we actually how do we make a decision? What's the decision actually that we need to take here to make sure that AI can be used in a responsible manner? So, yes, I think I would say...
In what areas of life do you see these decisions coming?
Yeah.
And where do you think you will meet those LLMs? Where do you see yourself using them? At home, at work, in what scenarios? Do you think it's going to be the same? Do you think it's going to be different? How you see it? Yeah,
this is such a good. It's I think like the streaming world, but also a bit the fearing world, right? I thought about this morning actually when it was like arriving here at the airport. It's very interesting because in Denmark or Copenhagen, you have like these automatic cleaning robots that go through the airport. You don't see them in any other airport so far. And they like run around, they beep a little bit, and as soon as a person comes too close, they they go around them. And at the moment, of course, like their sensors is like some object. But in the future, maybe you say to them like, hey, sorry, I'm here. Like, get out of the way, and then they just turn around and go somewhere else. So I think like we'll see much more interaction with automatic machines that we already use. And I think when you ask me about like, where do we see it, definitely in everyday life, for sure. But will it, like, I think we cannot forget also that if we call it a technology, it's also agnostic to the regulation. That means already all the existing regulation applies to it, right? Like all the GDPR principles still apply. All the other laws and regulations we have also apply. They're just not really fit for purpose maybe yet. But it becomes an interesting question, right? Like,
Hannah, thank you very much for coming. It was wonderful to have you here. We continue to publish content with knowledgeable and pleasant people like Hannah on the AI Watch. So please subscribe if you would like to know more, learn more, and participate in these conversations. Thank you.
Thank you for the invitation.